Oh, it's going to get sad. So for 2 years, I have experienced what I will call a dismembering of this area. Soul, I don't know. It really kicked into high gear when my friend Jody died a couple years ago. He was 38, had a heart attack, heart defect, and we hadn't actually spoken or seen each other for 12 years, so I didn't think it was going to be that big of a deal. Furthermore, when I found out about it through a Facebook group that had formed to share memories about him from some people that we knew. And by the time I found out about it, I'd missed all memorial services for him. And so I thought, well, we've fallen out of touch. Not a big thing. And so day 1 went by, and I was okay. And then day 2 went by, and I was not doing all that okay. And then on day 3, I will say I was crying without ceasing, let's just say. It was not stopping. I was not doing well. And I started to realize, I'm going to have to do something here. We didn't grow up in Chicago, we didn't grow up in Grand Rapids, we grew up in Chicago, so I didn't know anybody that knew him here. I missed the memorial services. I said, all right, I'll grab my journal. I went away, and I started writing, for 4 hours about this man. So describe who this guy was. First of all, we had both been fat kids growing up. And what happens when you're a fat kid is, for many fat kids, you realize there's this game that's run by the alpha males and the alpha females. And after a while, you realize, it's rigged. I'm not going to get anywhere. And so you stop playing, and hopefully. And so we met in this kind of underground music scene. It was full of former fat kids, current fat kids, and a bunch of freaks and geeks thrown in there. And it was really, I call it a music scene, but it was really much more about screaming and playing power chords and being angry against a system. I'm not really sure what the system was, but we were all hanging out in the suburbs north of Chicago and creating these music shows in basements and garages. And Jody was kind of at the center of that scene because he was not only just beautiful, like a beautiful man, in an unconventional sort of way, but he also just had that thing. He had this smile on his face all the time, like he knew that something super hysterical was about to happen, and it always would. But it wasn't because he planned it. He just saw everything as hysterical, like the absurdity of life. What a gift. And when he skateboarded, he was different from us. So we would be all like really slow approach, and then is my foot in the right position? And then whereas Jody would just go, and he would just go super fast at whatever he was heading toward. And when he would get there, he'd just be like, "Blew," and we would be watching, and we would be like, what is that? I don't even know what that's called. And I remember him saying, he's like, I just get this picture inside of my head, and then I do it. How cool is that? And when he would sing, he was always a lead singer in a band, screamer. And he would, when he would perform, he would get so into it. He would usually, eventually, the whole microphone would actually go into his mouth, and then he would let go. And he would start, flailing around. And if he did not, I'm not kidding, if he did not step off the stage bleeding from somewhere, he'd be like, God, that was a bad show. And so we we were hanging out in high school. After high school, we started hanging out every day because we had a mutual goal, which was to work as little as possible and not grow up for as long as possible because we knew we were going to have to become adults at some point in time. And we were in a band together, we were skateboarding together. We also would go and try to find girls to kiss together because when you've been a fat kid, you always have this deficit that feels like you have to make up for it. And it never goes away. Like, at least that's my experience. Sorry. We were doing this, but when we weren't doing those things, we were hanging out, and we were two guys looking at adulthood coming on the horizon and talking about, these are the things that are most important to us. These are the things I hope to carry into adulthood. And so I was born in the South, and I grew up in a Christian home. I grew up in a evangelical Christian home. For those of you not familiar with these terminologies, let me explain. God is considered the source of you. Also, God is the source of all love, right? So if you're an atheist, like Jody was, and you don't believe in God, you don't have love. I mean, that's awful. And it's implicit. I mean, you don't even have to be told this by a teacher. Like, it's implicit. If you're in an atheist life, like, you have a reason to be there. It's to bring love and to introduce love into this person's life. So, I mean, I wasn't cramming it down his throat, but I'm talking about these are the things I believe. And his response would be like, that's great. I appreciate that. But I feel like I just need to find what I'm passionate about and find what makes me happy, and I just need to go after that really hard. And then when I get there, it'll be clear what I need to do. Very much the way he skateboarded, actually. And then he would go on to say, he'd be like, and by the way, I don't care about you being Christian or non-Christian or whatever you are. Like, I love hanging out with you. Like, we hang out together because I love what is in you. And don't conform for me, don't conform for anybody. And just keep being that thing. And I would leave those conversations like, I didn't get through. Not even kidding. And so eventually we did have to grow up. And so I moved away. I moved here. And found a wife, found a house, found kids, found a cat, and found a job. He did not find a wife or a house or kids or cat, or he didn't settle down. He actually became a ship's captain, so he traveled around the world for 11 and a half months out of the year. And also, for some reason, I don't know, would not ever join the internet, so he became impossible to keep track. You literally had to bump into him when he came into town, and he came into Chicago. We never crossed paths. So it wasn't weird that we fell out of touch. So at the point that I'm journaling, I'm like, why am I dying inside? And I'm feeling this thing. It's like, nope, it's not that you could have tried harder to stay in touch. It's not that you're going to miss him. It is all of those things, but there's something underneath. It's like deep, like a cave, trying not to go too deep. It's like a cave. Something's coming out of the cave. And I'm like, what is coming out of this? What is this? And I start to think about my relationships. All of these girls that, we said, I love you. I love you. I love you. If you could just be better for me, and you could fit in my life better, that would be great. I mean, this is the majority of the times, that we were having conversations. Just fit me better. And Jody never said that. He's a man. We're both heterosexual. But I'm starting to realize, oh my God, this may have been maybe one of the most, if not the most important relationship of my life. And for that time, I mean, come on. When you're about to be an adult. And to have somebody who's just like, I love that thing that's just you. I love being around you. It's like, God, what a gift. What a gift. Ah. And then the thing inside was like, and you missed it. And I was like, yeah. And it's like, and come on, you knew it the whole time, too. You loved being around this guy. Why were you so preoccupied with trying to fix him or make him fit in your life better? It's like, I don't know. I just did it. It seemed like the thing I was supposed to do. And then, let's take it further. It said, oh, what a gift. Paul, what was your gift? I was like, whoa. It was like, you're fundamentally flawed. Would you like to be fixed? I can help you out with that. We call it the good news. If you could just help me out, we could work together. We could fit together a lot more. And I was like, why? Why do we do this? It seemed like the thing. It seemed like the right thing at the time. I guess I should forgive myself, but I can't, it's not that I can't forgive myself. I just love this man. And I miss him. And I'm like, why didn't you just say, I love you? Why? Why are you trying to fix somebody? And look at you now. Are you fixed? Right? I don't know. I love him. Doesn't go away. Gets worse after they go away.